Imagine a reality where every dream you have ever had is already fulfilled. The perfect career, the deep inner peace, the relationships you long for, all of it exists, not as a distant possibility, but as a living reality in another version of your life. What if I told you that this version of yourself is not just an illusion, not just a thought, but something real? And more than that, what if I told you that this version of you is connected to the life you are living now? The reality you experience, the daily struggles, the victories and setbacks, these are just fragments of what is truly possible for you. There exist parallel versions of yourself, navigating different paths, overcoming obstacles that may seem impossible to you now. These versions have already unlocked the wisdom, the success, and the life you aspire to. And the truth is, you can connect with them. You can access their knowledge, their energy, their reality, and integrate it into your present life. It might sound like fiction, but this is not about fantasy. This is about expanding your understanding of consciousness, of breaking free from the illusion of limitation. What you are about to discover has the potential to shift the way you see yourself, your past, your future, and the very fabric of reality itself. Every decision you have made, every road you have taken, exists not as a singular path, but as one of countless possibilities. There are multiple versions of you, each living in different realities, making different choices, experiencing different outcomes. These versions of yourself are not distant, not unreachable. They are all connected, like the branches of a great tree, all extending from the same root. Every skill you have yet to master, every challenge you have yet to conquer, there is a version of you in another reality who has already done it. These parallel versions of yourself are not just theoretical ideas. They are part of an invisible network of consciousness, sharing experiences and knowledge that you may not have accessed yet. Consider for a moment the idea that the version of yourself you know is just a single moment in time, a temporary expression of a much larger existence. The full essence of who you are exists across multiple dimensions, holding vast amounts of knowledge, wisdom, and experience. The life you are living now is only one small fraction of the totality of who you are. If you could step beyond the limits of your current perception, you would begin to see that your potential extends far beyond what you have ever imagined. You are not separate from your parallel selves. You are connected, and the choices they make, the experiences they have, can influence your life in ways you have never considered. The key to unlocking this power lies in your awareness. The more you expand your consciousness, the more you begin to bridge the gap between your current self and the self that has already achieved what you desire. This is not about simply believing in the possibility. It is about actively learning how to shift your perception, how to connect with these other versions of yourself, and bring their wisdom and success into your own life. When you begin to understand that these parallel versions of you exist, you also begin to realize that their choices, their knowledge, their victories are not locked away in some unreachable place. They are accessible. They are within you. And the more you tap into that energy, the more you will see your own reality begin to shift. Reality is not fixed. It is not something rigid and immovable. It is fluid, flexible, something you can shape and transform. The way to do this lies in your perception of time and consciousness. Time, as most people understand it, is seen as a straight line, a sequence of moments flowing from past to present to future. But what if this idea of time is nothing more than an illusion? What if time does not move in a linear path, but instead exists all at once, like a vast ocean of infinite possibilities? Your parallel selves exist within this ocean. They are not ahead of you, not behind you. They are beside you, existing simultaneously. The key to connecting with them is to change the way you perceive time. You must learn to see time not as something you are trapped within, but as something that bends and shifts with your awareness. The version of you that has already succeeded, that has already reached the life you long for, is not waiting for you in the future. That version of you exists now, in a parallel dimension. The moment you shift your perception, you will realize that you are not trying to create a new reality. You are aligning yourself with a reality that already exists. The first step in this process is changing how you view the present moment. The present is not just a fleeting instant between the past and future. It is a field of infinite possibilities, a space where past, present, and future all intersect. In this space, you have the ability to connect with a more advanced version of yourself, the version that has already accomplished everything you are striving for. This is not just about imagining a better future. It is about stepping into that future now, about drawing that reality into your present life. You are not separate from your parallel self. You are one with it. And the more you shift your awareness, the more you will begin to see that you can access that future self, that wiser, more successful, more fulfilled version of you. This is not a passive process. It is not about sitting back and hoping for things to change. It is about embodying that version of yourself, about bringing that success, that wisdom, that reality into your present life. And the more you align yourself with that energy, the more you will begin to see your current reality transform before your eyes. This is a process of conscious expansion. You are stepping beyond the illusion of time, breaking free from the idea that you are confined to just one version of reality. The moment you open your mind to this possibility, you will begin to live in multiple realities at once. And this is where true power lies. You have the ability to draw knowledge, strength, and success from any version of yourself, from any reality. You can use that power to shape the life you are living today. There's a practice that allows you to do this, a practice known as quantum jumping. It is the ability to shift your consciousness, to tune into a reality where the version of you who has already achieved what you desire exists. You are not changing who you are. You are simply aligning with the version of yourself that has already mastered what you seek. Every possibility, every outcome already exists in the vast field of potential realities. In one version of reality, you have already succeeded. In another, you are still struggling. Quantum jumping allows you to choose which reality you experience, not by physically moving, but by shifting your vibration, your energy, to align with the version of yourself that has already lived the life you desire. This is not a theory. It is a practice. And when you learn how to shift your consciousness, when you learn how to connect with the reality you desire, you will begin to collapse time itself. You will bring that future into the present. You will align with the version of yourself that has already succeeded. And when you do that, your entire world will begin to change. The process of shifting into your parallel self is not about waiting for the future to unfold. It is about stepping into that future now, merging with the version of you who has already achieved everything you desire. Most people live their lives believing that transformation is a slow, linear process, something that takes years of effort and struggle. But what if the life you long for is not far away? Not something to be earned in the distant future, but something you can access right now? Reality is not fixed. It is shaped by perception. Every possible version of your life already exists, playing out in different frequencies of consciousness. If you are experiencing struggle, it is not because success is unavailable to you. It is because you are tuned into a version of reality where struggle is dominant. The key to transformation is not about working harder in the physical world, but about aligning your energy, your awareness, with the version of yourself that has already overcome what you are facing now. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs determine which version of reality you are tuned into. Imagine reality as a radio frequency. You can switch channels at any moment, shifting from one version of yourself to another. The version of you that is struggling and the version of you that is thriving both exist at the same time. The only difference is which frequency you are tuned into. To shift into the reality you desire, you must begin by changing your internal state. If you want to experience success, you must feel successful now. If you want peace, you must embody peace in this moment. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. The frequency you emit determines the reality you experience. Most people focus on what they lack. They visualize what they want, but they do so while feeling the absence of it. They unknowingly reinforce the idea that their desire is something far away, something separate from them. This is why so many struggle with manifestation. They are trying to create from a place of lack rather than alignment. The secret is to feel as if you already have what you desire, to embody the energy of the version of you who already lives that life. This is not about pretending or fooling yourself. It is about shifting into a reality that already exists by tuning your awareness to it. When you visualize your future self, you are not merely imagining. You are connecting with an existing reality. The deeper you immerse yourself in that experience, the more you begin to merge with that version of yourself. This is the process of quantum shifting, aligning your consciousness with the version of you that has already mastered what you seek. But here is where people make a mistake. They think about their desires from the perspective of their current self. They visualize abundance while feeling scarcity. They imagine success while doubting their ability to achieve it. And in doing so, they keep themselves anchored in their current state, unable to shift into the reality they desire. You must learn to think from the perspective of your future self. Instead of asking how you will get there, ask yourself, how does my future self think? How do they feel? What choices do they make? What beliefs do they hold? The more you embody that version of yourself now, the faster you collapse the distance between where you are and where you want to be. This is where the true power of consciousness comes into play. The external world is a reflection of your internal state. When you shift internally, reality rearranges itself to match your vibration. This is not magic. It is the fundamental way in which reality operates. Quantum physics suggests that all possibilities already exist. Every version of your life is already playing out in different frequencies of consciousness. The only question is, which version will you align with? Your beliefs act as a filter, determining which reality you experience. If you believe transformation is hard, it will be hard. If you believe success takes years, it will take years. But if you believe that change can happen instantly, if you believe that the life you desire already exists and is available to you now, then you begin to shift in ways you never thought possible. This is not about forcing things to happen. It is about surrendering to the reality that is already there. It is about allowing yourself to step into the version of you that has already succeeded. The more you trust this process, the faster you will see the evidence of it unfolding in your life. To begin this shift, you must first become deeply aware of your current thoughts and emotions. Every day, you are either reinforcing your old reality or aligning with a new one. Pay attention to your patterns. Are you constantly focusing on what is missing, on what is not working? Or are you embodying the energy of the reality you desire? Awareness is the first step. The second step is deliberate alignment. You must train yourself to think, feel, and act as if you are already the person you wish to become. This is not about pretending. It is about stepping into a reality that already exists. When you wake up in the morning, instead of falling into your old patterns, ask yourself, how would my future self live today? What choices would they make? How would they carry themselves? The more you embody that energy, the more you shift into that reality. The shift does not happen through struggle. It happens through alignment, through feeling, believing, and knowing that you are already the person you aspire to be. The moment you step into that energy, the universe begins to mirror it back to you. Opportunities arise. Solutions appear. Reality bends to match your new vibration. This is why visualization is so powerful. When you close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire, you are not just imagining. You are aligning with an existing reality. But the most important part of visualization is not just seeing, it is feeling. The stronger the emotion, the more powerfully you tune into that reality. If you want financial abundance, do not just see yourself with wealth. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with it. If you want deep inner peace, do not just imagine it. Feel it in your body as if it is already yours. The more you embody these emotions, the faster you shift into that reality. But there is one final key: letting go. Most people try to force their desires into existence. They cling to how and when it will happen. But this attachment creates resistance, keeping them stuck. The moment you truly trust, the moment you let go, and know that your desired reality is already yours, it begins to unfold effortlessly. The key is not to chase the future. It is to embody it now. To live as if you are already there. To trust in the process and allow reality to shift around you. The more you practice this, the more you will see your life transform in ways you never imagined. Everything you seek is already here. The version of you that has mastered what you desire is not separate from you. It is you. The only thing standing in the way is your perception. Shift that, and you shift everything. The moment you begin to align with the version of yourself that has already achieved what you desire, you will notice reality shifting around you. But this shift is not about forcing change. It is about allowing it. And when you fully embody the energy of your future self, the external world has no choice but to reflect that back to you. The opportunities, the breakthroughs, the synchronicities, they all begin to unfold naturally, not because you are chasing them, but because you are finally in harmony with them. But here's where most people struggle. They fall back into old patterns, into doubt, into the illusion that their desired reality is something far away, something they must still work for. This is where faith becomes essential. Faith is not blind belief. It is the understanding that the reality you desire already exists. It is the trust that the universe is rearranging itself in your favor the moment you align with the frequency of your ideal self. Every version of you exists in the quantum field. The successful, confident, peaceful version of yourself is just as real as the struggling, fearful version. The difference between which one you experience is not external forces. It is where you place your focus. If you constantly reinforce the idea that you are not where you want to be, you remain stuck in that reality. But the moment you choose to embody the energy of the version of you who has already arrived, everything changes. This is the key to mastering the shift. You must stop identifying with your old self. Every time you say, "I am not there yet," you keep yourself trapped in a timeline where that is true. Instead, you must begin to think, speak, and act from the perspective of your future self. You must see yourself as already having arrived. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about stepping into alignment with a reality that is already available to you. Many people wonder why their manifestations do not come to fruition, why they feel stuck even after practicing visualization and affirmations. The reason is simple. They're still seeing their desires as separate from them. They're still operating from a place of lack. They are saying the right words, but their emotions are contradicting them. And in the quantum field, emotions are what determine your frequency, not just thoughts. If you want to truly shift into a new reality, you must immerse yourself in the emotional state of that reality. You must train yourself to feel gratitude for what is already yours, even before it physically manifests. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states you can be in. It is the energy of having, not wanting. And the more you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, the more quickly reality adjusts to reflect that back to you. Your emotions are the language of the universe. If you constantly feel anxious, uncertain, or doubtful, you are signaling to the universe that you do not trust the process. And the universe will always mirror back to you the state you are in. But when you step into certainty, into the deep knowing that your desired reality is already yours, everything begins to flow effortlessly. This is why detachment is so powerful. When you hold onto a desire too tightly, when you obsess over when and how it will happen, you create resistance. You tell the universe that you do not trust the process, that you believe you must control everything for it to manifest. But true power comes from surrender, from knowing that your only job is to align and the universe will handle the rest. Think of it this way. When you plant a seed, you do not sit there every day, digging it up to see if it is growing. You trust that if you water it, if you give it sunlight, it will naturally bloom at the right time. The same is true for your desires. The moment you align with them energetically, they begin to take root. Your job is not to force the outcome, but to nurture the energy, to trust, to allow. Detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop caring about your desires. It means you no longer chase them from a place of desperation. It means you live in the certainty that they are already unfolding, and you focus on embodying the energy of your future self rather than constantly checking to see if things are changing. This is how you collapse time. When you shift your energy to match the version of you who has already succeeded, you bring that timeline closer. You no longer have to wait years for transformation. You no longer have to take the long, difficult path. Instead, you step directly into alignment with the reality where your desires are already realized. Quantum physics tells us that time is not linear. Every moment exists simultaneously. This means that your future self is not waiting for you in the distance. They are existing right now. And the only thing separating you from them is your awareness. The moment you begin to think like them, feel like them, and act like them, you merge with their timeline. You begin to experience life from their perspective. This is not about wishful thinking. It is about shifting your identity. If you want to experience wealth, you must start thinking like someone who is already abundant. If you want to experience deep confidence, you must start carrying yourself as if you already possess it. If you want love, you must first embody the energy of love within yourself. Your identity is the foundation of your reality. Whatever you believe yourself to be, the universe will reflect that back to you. This is why transformation begins within. You do not need to fight against your external circumstances. You need to shift internally, and the world will adjust to match you. But shifting your identity requires commitment. It requires a willingness to let go of the version of yourself that you have outgrown. It requires stepping beyond the comfort of the known and into the unknown, trusting that something greater awaits you. Most people resist change because they fear losing the familiar, even if the familiar is not serving them. They hold on to old beliefs, old habits, old stories, because stepping into the unknown feels uncertain. But here is the truth. Transformation only happens when you are willing to step into the unknown. When you are willing to trust that the version of you who has already succeeded is not just a possibility, but a reality that is waiting for you to claim it. The process of shifting is simple, but it is not always easy. It requires a deep commitment to becoming the version of yourself that already exists in the reality you desire. It requires stepping into that energy, not just occasionally, but consistently. Every thought, every emotion, every action must be in alignment with your new reality. You must make a choice. Do you continue identifying with your past, reinforcing old patterns, holding on to limitations? Or do you step into the energy of your future self, allowing their wisdom, their success, their reality to become your own? This is the power you hold. You are not just a passive participant in life. You are the creator, the architect of your own reality. The moment you accept this, the moment you fully embody this truth, you will realize that the life you desire is not something to be chased. It is something to be claimed. And the moment you claim it, the universe will respond. Because reality does not happen to you. It happens through you. The moment you step into alignment with your future self, the world around you begins to shift in ways that defy logic. You start noticing patterns, signs, synchronicities. Things that were once hidden now become clear. It is not that reality has suddenly changed, but rather your perception has expanded to recognize the opportunities that were always there. But here is the secret. Most people miss these signs because they are still trapped in their old identity. They are waiting for change to appear before they believe in it. But true transformation happens the other way around. You must believe in the shift before you see it. You must embody the energy of the version of yourself who has already succeeded. And when you do, reality will have no choice but to conform to that frequency. everything in existence is energy, including you. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs emit a frequency, and that frequency determines what you attract into your life. When you operate from a state of lack, of doubt, of fear, you align with timelines that reinforce those emotions. But when you raise your frequency, when you tune into the energy of abundance, of success, of confidence, the universe mirrors that back to you. This is why emotions are so powerful. They are not just reactions. They are the signals you send into the quantum field. When you feel joy, gratitude, certainty, you are aligning yourself with a reality where those emotions are justified. When you feel fear, doubt, frustration, you are reinforcing a reality where those feelings continue to be your experience. If you want to shift into a new reality, you must first shift your emotions. You must train yourself to feel as if your desires have already manifested, even before there is physical evidence. This is not pretending. It is aligning with an existing frequency. And when you hold that frequency long enough, reality bends to match it. But many people struggle with this because they are addicted to their past emotions. They have spent years, sometimes decades, reinforcing patterns of fear, worry, and limitation. Their nervous system has become wired to expect struggle, to expect disappointment. So even when they try to think positively, their body pulls them back into old states of being. This is where awareness becomes crucial. You must become conscious of the emotions you habitually dwell in. Every time you catch yourself slipping into doubt, into frustration, into scarcity, you must remind yourself, this is not who I am anymore. I am shifting. I am aligning with my future self. And this is not a one-time decision. It is a practice, a daily commitment to embodying the energy of the reality you wish to experience. It is choosing, moment by moment, to think, feel, and act as the version of you who already has everything you desire. The mind will resist at first. It will tell you that nothing is changing. It will try to pull you back into old habits, old fears. But you must stay firm. You must trust the process, because the shift is happening, whether you see it immediately or not. The energy is moving. The new reality is forming. And if you stay aligned long enough, it will crystallize in your physical experience. Think of it like flying a plane. When you first take off, you cannot see your destination. All you see is open sky. But that does not mean your destination does not exist. It simply means you are still in the journey. If you turn back too soon, if you doubt and give up, you will never arrive. But if you trust, if you stay the course, eventually the landscape changes. The reality you are traveling toward appears on the horizon. This is exactly how shifting works. The moment you align with your future self, the journey begins. You may not see immediate proof, but that does not mean the shift is not happening. You must trust, hold the frequency, and continue moving forward. And when the shift does manifest, it often happens suddenly. One day, everything looks the same. The next, an opportunity appears. A door opens. A chance meeting changes your course. What once seemed impossible now feels effortless. This is because, in the quantum field, changes happen in leaps, not in gradual steps. Reality reorganizes itself instantly the moment your vibration locks into a new frequency. But here is what most people do not realize. You can choose how fast this shift happens. The stronger your alignment, the more unwavering your belief, the faster the universe responds. This is why some people seem to transform their lives overnight, while others take years. It is not about luck. It is about the depth of their alignment. When you fully embody the energy of your future self, when you eliminate all doubt, when you refuse to return to your old identity, you collapse time. You bring the reality you desire into your present much faster. This is why those who commit to this process with absolute certainty often experience dramatic shifts in a short period. But the key is consistency. Many people start strong, but waver when they do not see immediate results. They allow doubt to creep in, and that doubt slows down the shift. If you truly want to step into a new reality, you must remain unwavering. You must hold the vision, hold the emotions, and refuse to entertain anything that contradicts your desired outcome. And when you do, you will experience something remarkable. The version of you that once felt distant, that once seemed like a dream, will become your new normal. The struggles, the limitations, the doubts that once defined you will feel like a past life, something you barely recognize anymore. This is the power of consciousness, the power of awareness, the power of knowing that reality does not happen to you. It happens through you. You are the creator, the architect of your own experience. And the moment you fully accept this, the moment you take responsibility for the reality you are choosing, everything changes. There is no limit to what you can become. The only question is, are you willing to step into that power? Are you willing to claim the reality that has always been waiting for you? Because the truth is, you are already there. The version of you who has mastered everything you seek is not separate from you. It is you. The only thing standing in the way is your decision to step into it. And once you do, the universe will align. Because reality is not about waiting. It is about choosing. And the moment you choose fully, without hesitation, the shift happens instantly. The only question that remains is, are you ready? The power to shift your reality has always been within you. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold is shaping the world you experience. But the true shift happens when you stop seeing yourself as separate from the reality you desire. When you finally understand that you are not trying to reach a better life, you are simply tuning into the version of yourself that already exists in that reality. Most people live their lives reacting to the world around them, believing that their circumstances dictate their emotions, their opportunities, their potential. But the ones who truly understand the nature of reality know that the opposite is true. It is not the world that shapes you. It is you who shapes the world. And the more you accept this truth, the faster your life transforms. Think about this for a moment. Every decision you make, every belief you hold, is a choice between two realities. You can choose to remain in the version of yourself who doubts, who hesitates, who feels stuck. Or you can choose to step into the version of yourself who has already succeeded, already found clarity, already embraced abundance. Both versions exist simultaneously. The only difference is which one you align with. The mistake many people make is that they keep checking for proof before they allow themselves to believe. They tell themselves, once I see evidence of change, then I will trust the process. But this is like waiting for a mirror to reflect a different image before changing your expression. The reflection will not shift until you do. This is why faith is so powerful. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the deep, unwavering knowing that what you desire is already real. It is the refusal to entertain doubt. It is the certainty that the reality you seek is not something you need to chase, but something you are in the process of merging with. The universe does not delay in delivering your desires. It responds instantly. The only thing that slows down the process is your own uncertainty, your own attachment to the past. The moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you fully surrender to the knowing that your future self is already guiding you, the shift accelerates. And this is where most people struggle. They allow fear to creep in. They start questioning if they are doing it right, if they are really shifting, if they are truly capable of transformation. But what they do not realize is that these very doubts are what keep them locked in their current reality. The moment you entertain the thought that you are not there yet, you push that reality further away. If you want to experience a new reality, you must learn to let go of the version of yourself that still believes in limitation. You must release the need to constantly analyze how and when things will change. You must stop looking for proof and start living as if the shift has already happened. This is what it means to embody your future self. It is not about waiting. It is about deciding. Deciding that the old version of you no longer exists. Deciding that you will no longer operate from a mindset of scarcity, doubt, or hesitation. Deciding that you are already the person you have always wanted to become. And when you make this decision fully, something remarkable happens. Your energy shifts. Your thoughts change. Your actions become different. And because of this, the world around you begins to reorganize itself in ways you could never have predicted. The people you meet, the opportunities that arise, the doors that open, all of it is a reflection of your internal shift. And suddenly, what once felt difficult becomes effortless. What once felt distant becomes immediate. What once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. This is why the most important work you can do is inner work. The external world is simply a mirror. If you want to change what you see, you must change what you project. Every day, you must ask yourself, am I thinking, feeling, and acting as the version of myself who has already succeeded? Or am I still operating from the energy of my past? Because the truth is, transformation is not a process of adding more to yourself. It is not about struggling to become something new. It is about stripping away everything that is not in alignment with the version of you that already exists in your desired reality. You do not need to become someone else. You simply need to remember who you already are. When you step into this knowing, when you claim the reality that is already waiting for you, life begins to unfold in ways you never expected. You start attracting the right people, the right experiences, the right circumstances. Not because you are forcing it, but because you are finally in harmony with it. And this is the key. You do not need to chase. You do not need to struggle. You simply need to align. The universe is always responding to your state of being. The moment you stop seeing your desires as distant and instead embrace them as your present reality, everything shifts. But you must hold that energy consistently. You must refuse to return to your old patterns, your old fears, your old doubts. You must wake up every day and reaffirm, I am already there. I am already that person. And as you do this, the gap between where you are and where you want to be disappears. Because in truth, there was never a gap at all. The only thing standing between you and your ideal reality has always been your own perception. Shift that, and you shift everything. The reality you seek is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is already here, already available, already within your reach. The only thing that determines whether you experience it or not is your willingness to step into it fully, without hesitation, without doubt, without looking back. Most people live their lives waiting for a sign, for external validation that they are on the right path. They wait for the universe to show them proof before they believe.